Rangers, buckle up because today's roundup is loaded with everything that's got everyone talking. From Philippe Clement dropping hints that our top players could be on the move to the classic Celtic rivalry heating up. Oh, and have you heard the whispers of Kevin Muscat waiting in the wings? There's talk he could be stepping into Clement's shoes if things don't pick up fast. And that's not all. We've got the ongoing saga of James Tavernier, Clement's latest moves leaving fans more frustrated than ever. Plus, we'll dive into the tiresome waste of time, Pyro scandal, that's likely to delay the Big League Cup final, and of course, Cyril Dessers finally hitting his stride. Is he about to go on a scoring spree, or are we in for more stop-start form? Stick around, because every story's juicier than the last, and trust me, you won't want to miss a second of it. So here's the gist then. Clement's having a wee bit of a go at the idea of strikers hanging around long-term if they're knocking one in every game. A bit cheeky that, isn't it? He reckons if Dessers, or any Rangers striker for that matter, was slotting one home week in, week out, they'd be off before you could say transfer window. Basically, he's saying Rangers would become a pit stop for players on their way to something bigger. Now, whether or not that's his roundabout way of defending Dessers' spotty scoring record is anyone's guess. Now, Dessers has indeed been a mixed bag. He's notched 3 in 3, and that's solid on paper, but ask any Rangers fan and they'll tell you they're a bit hungry for more. The lads missed a fair share of chances, and when Danilo's about to be back in action, you start wondering if Dessers will keep his spot or be warming the bench soon enough. Clement's response, it was all very diplomatic, of course. He says Dessers is grafting hard and he's not some lad who scores a few just because someone's breathing down his neck. But it's a bit backhanded, this talk of a striker who scores every game, won't stay long. Dessers might be improving, Clement admits, but even he's acknowledging we're not exactly dealing with prime Van Persie here. So here's the burning question for you then. Are we really fine with the idea that a top scorer would treat Rangers as just a stepping stone? Or do we deserve a striker who'll bang 'em in and stay loyal to the club, right? Billy Dodds has put his 2 pence in, reckoning that Rangers are still set to edge Aberdeen for that second spot. But he's made it crystal clear Rangers fans won't stand for being miles behind Celtic, let alone the Dons. And really, can you blame them? The 9-point gap just won't sit right. It's like being told to sit down and enjoy your dinner while Celtic and Aberdeen tuck into a feast. Dodds is optimistic, says, we'll catch up with Aberdeen because of our budget and squad size, but it's a bit rich, isn't it? As if the sheer number of lads on the payroll is enough. After all, Rangers fans aren't paying good money to watch us come second and smile about it. Second is barely enough, and let's not even entertain the idea of third. It's been 3 years since we lifted that title with Gerrard, and now it feels like we're scrapping just to keep above Aberdeen. You'd never have imagined it not long ago, and then you've got Gary Keown's remark calling Rangers a basket case. Bit harsh, but it does hit a nerve. The club does feel a bit all over the place at the minute. Between on-field struggles and off-field fiascos, Clement's got a mountain of a job on his hands to steady the ship, let alone mount any real title challenge. So here's one for you. Is it enough for Rangers to aim for second, or are we lowering our standards too much just because of Celtic's lead? So here we are, already getting murmurs of Kevin Muscat stepping in if Clement can't get things in order at Rangers. Muscat's been piling up the wins in Asia. Postecoglou himself is convinced he'd be a hit over here, calling him a hard man with the right credentials. He's had success in Australia, Japan, and even managed to snag a title in China's league, which isn't exactly a stroll in the park. Muscat was actually up for the Rangers job when Beale got the boot, so there's history there. Now, seeing how the season's going, there's already speculation that maybe Rangers got it wrong with Clement and should have brought Muscat back to Rangers instead. It's true that Clement came in with a shiny record from Belgium, but his results have been a mixed bag, and the progress he keeps talking about doesn't exactly show in the table. Here's the thing, being a Rangers manager is its own beast. Doesn't matter how many trophies you've won elsewhere, the pressure to beat Celtic, to get results fast, it's on another level. And now we're wondering, could Muscat actually be the one to break this recent curse of short-lived managers at Rangers, or would he end up worn out by the job like so many others? Right, here's a thought to get you going. Would Muscat actually be the breath of fresh air Rangers need, or are we just as guilty as anyone of clinging to anyone with a shiny CV who might save us from another rough season? Well, Hugh Keevans has had enough of the Pyro shows, calling them toys for fans and a tiresome waste of time that'll just delay the League Cup final come December. He reckons the old firm supporters will be too busy trying to outdo each other with the smoke displays to kick off on time, all while Hampton Park's visibility is down to a pea super. Bit dramatic, isn't it? But he's clearly not thrilled, and he's not alone either. There's definitely a divide. The authorities aren't having it. UEFA's been dishing out fines, and Rangers' own John Gilligan has called for it to stop. So the older generation seems fed up with it, while some younger fans insist it adds to the atmosphere. Now, Clement, he's got bigger problems on his mind than a bit of smoke in the stands. He needs this win, a loss to Celtic in December, and that might be him done at Rangers. We've had league losses against Kilmarnock and Aberdeen that already put him in the hot seat, and failing to defend this trophy would be a huge blow. The board might want to stand by him, but how long will they last if he can't get the results, especially in a cup final? Here's one to spark a few opinions. Does the Pyro really add to the atmosphere, or is it just a nuisance holding things up for the rest of us trying to watch the match? All right, here we go then. The Tavernier saga is turning into a right headache for Clement, and it's a situation that's left everyone scratching their heads. Tavernier's had years as a solid Rangers leader, a player who stepped up and delivered time and again. But lately, well, it's not exactly been vintage Tav, has it? The consistency's wobbled, and Clement's decision-making is being questioned, leaving him out against Olympiacos, then throwing him back in against Hearts. It's got people wondering if Clement even knows who his go-to right back is anymore. And let's be honest, this chop and change approach doesn't exactly build confidence, especially not for a captain. Now, in that Hearts game, Tav did manage an assist for Dez's goal, but if we're being honest, he looked like he was going for goal himself before it happened to fall to Dez's. Still, an assist is an assist, but his defensive game, there's no denying it. It was shaky. We saw him losing track of his man a few times, and that sort of lapse is a liability, particularly when you're talking about the stakes we're facing this season. And with Celtic and the League Cup final on the horizon, Clement's got a major decision to make. How are we going to keep up if we can't rely on the right back, especially with someone like Dyson Maeda coming at us down the wings? Keith Jackson's got a point. This isn't just about Tav having an off day. It's about leadership, about setting the right tone on the pitch. Jackson reckons Clement needs to pick a strategy and stick to it, because a team can't afford a captain who doesn't know if he's even playing from game to game. And if Tavernier's defensive lapses are becoming too common, well, the logical thing is to look at other options. But there's a deeper issue here too, and that's sentiment. Clement's got to make a decision that isn't influenced by nostalgia or by Tav's title as captain. Just because he's led us for years doesn't mean he's the right man for every situation now. And here's the thing, Tavernier's no fool. He knows he's not quite at the same level he was a few seasons back, but being captain and having the loyalty of the fans are big things, especially when he's got a testimonial coming up. He'll want to go down as a legend, as someone who led Rangers through thick and thin. But for that to happen, he's got to prove himself on merit, not on memory. Clement needs him to be that reliable presence. But if Tavernier can't deliver the consistency, the club might have to make a hard call. With the League Cup final so close, fans are right to be anxious. It's been 4 years since we won a major trophy under Gerrard, and here we are, almost settling for second in the league, if not worse. Cup competitions might be our only real chance at silverware this season, and that makes every decision crucial. If Clement doesn't lock down the defense and make bold choices, we risk being second best again, something no Rangers fan will stand for. So here's the real question for you. Should loyalty to Tav as captain override the need for a stronger backline, or is it time for Clement to pick a right back purely based on who will give us the best chance to win, captain or not? Comment below what you think about the news. Don't forget to leave a like on the video to help me out. I post videos every day talking about our Rangers, so if you're not subscribed, you're missing out on the latest news. See you soon.